Buddy, this is Alejandro Salas. We have another amazing day for baseball between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Colorado Rockies. The Brewers taking the first game in dramatic fashion yesterday in a 12th inning walk-off courtesy of Roberto Clemente. And we got the roof open here today as we have some just ideal baseball weather coming through Milwaukee. The Colorado Rockies come into Milwaukee today looking to avenge their first loss of the season. But Felix Hernandez, today's starter for the Brewers, will have something to say about that. Hernandez is coming off what would be considered a subpar year for him last year, winning 11 games only of the first 19. First up is Nomar Garciaparra.
Nomar Garciaparra.
First pitch is a foul pitch for strike one. The Brewers sporting their 93 home uniforms as Felix winds up. And the first pitch is a deep shot to left field, but hooks foul. No ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch, Felix Hernandez just plunks Nomar in the back. Definitely not an intentional pitch there with an off speed. Garciaparra still gives a lengthy look to King Felix as he goes to first base. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out. Next batter is Veda Pinzon. Had 2 hits yesterday in the ball game. And first pitch, a 4-seamer for strike one. And the pitch, outside slider for ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nomar's taking a bit of a generous lead. Gonna have to keep our eye on him. And Pinzon gets a hold of that one, but foul back, keeping things at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another fastball fouled back. And next pitch is outside for a slider. Hernandez looking like he's having a bit of a trouble with his control on the outside portion of the plate. Oh, and a base hit to right field. This could be extra bases. This could be not good news for Hernandez. It looks like Nomar was going to be turning for home. A throw at the plate, and it is not in time. The relay was just a little bit too slow. I think Nomar surprised Robinson Cano, who just obviously did not expect him to go first to home on what appears to be just a routine double. And Pinzon is definitely off to a hot start, seeing the ball well. And the Rockies take a 1-0 lead with no outs in the first. Next up is Jim Thome. Jim was visibly upset yesterday after the walk-off hit. Just got outside his range. Nothing to really feel that terrible about. I think only a handful of players in the major leagues are capable of even coming close to making a play like that. And this is a deep shot to right field. And Sosa with a nice play out there, able to go in for the catch, but it's safe to say that the Rockies are all over King Felix here in the early get-go. Your starting lineup for the Colorado Rockies got Garcia Parra batting first, followed by Pinzon, Jim Thome, followed by Mark Teixeira, Lance Berkman, right field Reggie Sanders, second baseman Julio Franco, and the pitch. So Hernandez needs to settle down here and just kind of focus on the situation at hand. Never mind that runner on third. And this is a fly ball to shallow left field. Cal Ripken, no problem for out number 2.
Batting fifth, left fielder Lance Berkman.
So Lance Berkman now up to bat, looking to get that runner home. Fouls back for strike 1. And the pitch, and an ugly swing. Inside slider. No balls and 2 strikes for Lance Berkman. And easy grounder. King Felix gonna have to hurry. And a good throw to first. Makes sure that the Brewers get out of the first, only letting up 1 run as Veda Pinzon again doing the damage for the Rockies as they take a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the first. Taking the mound for the Rockies is David Need, only 18 years old, but definitely has some nasty stuff with him. The Rockies feel very good about having him not just in the rotation, but second in the rotation, looking to help the Rockies get into the win column here in the early season. Now batting, Roberto Clemente,
Center fielder,
yesterday's hero.
Clemente.
And this is a fly ball to right field. Should be an easy out. And it is. We got a quick 1 out here at the top of the first.
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose had a very good start to the season yesterday, going 2 for 4. Takes the first pitch, an outside slider for a ball. And this is a fly ball to center field. No problem for Veda Pinzon. And real quick, we have 2 outs here as Barry Bonds steps in to the plate. And this is a deep shot to left field. This might have a chance, but turns into a routine fly ball to left field for the 3rd out. So after 1, we have the Colorado Rockies 1, Milwaukee Brewers 0. So next up we have Reggie Sanders.
Right fielder, Reggie Sanders.
And he's swinging at the first pitch. A fly ball to shortstop for the 1st out. Cal Ripken Jr. with the catch.
Batting 7th, second baseman, Julio Franco.
And Julio Franco is a nice play by Felix Hernandez. Initially it looked like a ground ball base hit to the center field, but was able to get his glove on it. And real quickly, we have 2 outs here in the 2nd inning. So a bit of a different story here in the 2nd inning. After struggling, much like Kevin Brown did yesterday, Felix looks to be settling in nicely. That slider just absolutely a staple in Felix Hernandez's repertoire. Oh, and a beautiful play by Pete Rose. Might not be able to get up in time. And absolutely looked like a web gem. Able to knock the ball down, but in any case, the base hit, the number 8 spot. But luckily for King Felix, got the pitcher now coming up to bat. It should be an easy out. No balls and 2 strikes. And fouls away to stay alive. And a swing and a miss on a changeup for strike 3. And the Brewers able to hold Colorado's lead to just 1 here in the middle of the 2nd inning. Next we got Sammy Sosa.
Right fielder.
Had a good game in game 1. Oh, and swings at an inside ball. A fastball. 96 on the radar. And a base hit to left field. Sammy's seeing the ball well here to start the season. So we got no outs, man on first for Rafael Palmeiro. And Palmeiro showing some patience, as Need is visibly upset about that call, but as we can see, it was definitely high and inside. And this time is low, and we got 2 balls and no strikes count for Rafael Palmeiro. Palmeiro with tremendous power to the left side of the field. Oh, and he gets a hold of one, but fouled it off to the left side. We got 2 balls and 1 strike here with no outs in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And this is smoke to right field for a base hit. And just like that, the Brewers have runners on first and second here in the 2nd with no outs. First major league hit for Rafael. That's always got to feel good. Would have liked to have had that in yesterday's game, but better late than never, and a very timely hit now as the Brewers look to get something going here. Already finding themselves trailing by a score of 1-0. Cano takes a curveball down and away for ball 1. Need definitely in some trouble here. And this one's in the outfield, folks, and it looks like it's gonna get played pretty quickly to hold Sammy at third, and we have the bases loaded. So Cano going to opposite field, right over Jim Thomey's head. No real shot at catching this one. And we got Cal Ripken Jr. now up to bat with the bases loaded. And as we talked about yesterday, Cal has a habit of just absolutely decimating rookie pitching, and we'll have to see if that holds true here against Need. One ball, no strikes with the bases loaded here. And this is a shot into the gap. This is going to go to the wall, folks, and we're going to have some base runnings here. And 2 will come in to score as Cal Ripken Jr. helps the Brewers get out in front by a score of 2-1. So Cal Ripken Jr. also here with his first hit, an extra base hit with 2 RBIs. And the Brewers have something going here in the 2nd inning. This is outside. Is it deep enough for a run to score? And it looks like it is. And Cano slides in head first. And the Brewers take a 3-1 lead. And the wheels are just falling off the cart here for Need, who's actually a little late in covering. And that's something he's going to have to work on, because they may have had a chance at getting Cano out. And you can bet you the manager's going to have something to say to that a little bit later on. One-on-one count. And a high fastball nowhere near the plate. So this is really where a young pitcher like Need has to just calm down, settle his nerves. You know, you still are well within the ball game, And just got to do the best he can to stop the bleeding. And this ball shatters the bat to the second baseman. Out at first is Molina, but the runner does come home. And the Brewers now have a 4-1 lead. So things couldn't go any better here for Felix. A 4-1 lead with just one out here in the second inning. And Felix fouls it off to the right side for strike one. Here's where Need really has to be careful, because sometimes, especially as a rookie pitcher, you might underestimate pitching to the pitcher, but is able to do so here as Felix grounds out to Nomar for out number 2.
Center fielder, Roberto.
Which brings us back to the top of the lineup. Roberto Clemente up to bat now with 2 outs. And he chops one to the left for strike one. And this is down, very low fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike to even the count. And Clemente scorches one into center field to keep this inning going. And it's just absolutely perfect with his timing on that one. And when Clemente starts hitting the ball up the middle, that's when you know that his timing is impeccable. That usually does not mean very good things for opponent pitching. Need checking back. Clemente back to first base. And a pitch out, but Clemente is not going anywhere. One ball, no strike. Another pitch out, and here's where Need's got to really just focus on the batter. You got 2 outs, you already gave up 4 runs. Just focus on the batter. It looks like Clemente's just really got his attention over there as he throws to first base yet again. And again to first base. I think everyone's a little surprised at just how much attention Need is giving Roberto Clemente. And Rose takes a good looking swing with a foul back for strike number 1. And Clemente is taking off now. It's on a curveball, and he's there in time, and Clemente's got his first stolen base of the season. So maybe Need was onto something there. But either way, Clemente is able to steal the bag. This is a foul back, out of reach for Ramos. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a low and inside fastball for ball 3. And Need is approaching 30 pitches here in the second inning. And a base hit into left field. Clemente makes the turn, but thinks twice about it and retreats back to third base. But the inning keeps going, and the nightmare also continues for Need, as he's just not able to figure out how to get this third out and get the Colorado Rockies out of the inning. Oh, and Bonds takes a swing at a high fastball. Really no business swinging at that. And he takes a pitch. This time Need is on time with covering, but looks like the runners are staying in place. Outside slider for ball 2. And you can just see Bonds salivating here at the plate. And takes a sinker low for ball 3. And Need in danger of loading up the bases for the second time here in the second inning. And this is a fly ball to left field. This should do it for the Rockies. And the inning is over for the Rockies, but not before letting in 4 runs on 6 hits, with the Milwaukee Brewers now leading 4-1 after 2. We're back to the top of the lineup with Nomar Garciaparra.
Omar Garciaparra.
Got plunked in the first inning. As we remember, he kind of stared down Hernandez as he went to first base. And this is a shot to left field, but played nicely by Barry Bonds for out number 1.
Number 28.
So Veda Pinzon up to bat. He of the first inning double. And takes the first pitch for a strike. Felix Hernandez looking like he's got a little more control out there on the mound. As Pinzon fouls back a changeup for strike number 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Ooh, and that was a good looking pitch. And Felix just going to have to shake that one off. And this is another hit into the gap, and Pinzon is just absolutely tearing up the ball here in Milwaukee. At least over the first 2 games, but another double. This time with 1 out in the 3rd inning. And Jim Thome now looking to move Pinzon either to third or driving a run here. Felix delivers outside with a fastball. And the pitch and a slider right down the middle, taken by Thome for strike number 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here in the 3rd inning. Milwaukee up 4-1. Rockies threatening with Pinzon, second base. Thome takes an inside fastball to even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And this is a base hit to left field. This probably will score Pinzon, and it does. And the Brewers strike back here, and they're top of the 3rd inning, and it's a 4-2 ball game. And now it's King Felix that has to settle in as he gives up another hit to Teixeira. And the Rockies look to be doing some threatening of their own here with 2 men on base with 1 out. And this brings up Lance Berkman. Oh, and another base hit. This might score a run, and I think it will. As Berkman walks into second with a double. So just like that, the Rockies now have runners on second and third, and they've cut down this lead to 4-3. It's very disappointing for Felix Hernandez, as he had a commanding 4-1 lead no more than just a few moments ago. And a base hit would just totally change the dynamics of this game. So no balls and 2 strikes. Here to Reggie Sanders, and he fouls a sinker away to stay alive. And a strike 3 swing by Reggie Sanders. Exactly what Felix needed. He's still not out of the woods here, with Julio Franco looking to move these players ahead. First pitch is a ball. There's a deep shot to left field, but curving foul. And Felix throws a beautiful sweeping curve, and that's really the pitch that he's going to have to keep throwing in exactly that way if he wants to. And Pete Rose with a foul ball, with a ground ball, able to throw it to first for out number 3. Well, it was a 4-3 ball game here in the bottom of the third. Sammy Sosa coming up to bat. And this game very different from yesterday's game where both teams had 20 hits with only 3 runs, and we already have 7 runs here, and it's only the third inning. Sosa swings for the fences, but misses for strike number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And this time he waits on it nicely. This is going to take a good play from Franco, and he does get him right on time for first out of the inning. Palmeiro now up to bat, 1-1. He singled in the second. First ball for a ball. And takes the second pitch for an outside slider for ball number 2. And this is a deep shot to the gap between left and center. This has a shot, folks, and it's a home run. Rafael Palmeiro showing us his power as he just absolutely destroys one right into the gap between left and center. And I know this got to be a welcome sign for manager Craig Counsell. I would have liked to have someone on base for that, but he'll take it. I mean, and Palmeiro's just basically hits that with one hand. Just gives you an idea of his power. And just an absolute no-doubter into right center. And the Milwaukee Brewers take a 5-3 lead. And looks like the Brewers giving Palmeiro a little bit of the silent treatment. And there they are. And they've been rooting for him. Palmeiro's been going through his own controversies as of late. Some speculations of PEDs. He's denying everything, of course. We'll just have to see how that plays out. But now coming up to bat, Robinson Cano. And Cano fouls one off. Start his at bat here. No balls and 1 strike. And a deep shot to the left side, but another foul ball for no balls and 2 strikes. Low changeup taken by Cano for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, absolutely nasty curveball. And Need records his first major league strikeout here in the third inning. And Cano, I don't know if you saw, but Cano just drops his bat there in disgust. Not really what you want the kids in the stadium to see. I mean, he has no one to blame but himself. There's no reason why the bat boy needs to go out there and retrieve that. Take your bat into the dugout and, just keep your head in the ball game. So, not the great.